Hello everyone, it's Runeterra64, and welcome back to another League of Legends lore reading video. Today, we will be reading the biography of Lissandra, the Ice Witch. As the reluctant leader of the Frost Guard, many believe Lissandra is a living saint whose followers bring healing and wisdom to the tribes of the Freljord. The truth is perhaps more sinister, as she uses her eternal elemental magic to twist the power of true ice into something dark and terrible, entombing or impaling any who would reveal her deepest secrets. Indeed, the legacy of her past may yet be the beginning of the end of Runeterra. In a time long forgotten, before the sand's birth and the shallowed Shurima, begins of old magic freely walked Runeterra. The borders between the mortal realm and what lay beyond it were hotly contested. Into this dangerous and volatile age, Lissandra and her sisters, Cyrildia and Avarosa, were born. Each sought to harness the powers at war, and each paid a terrible price, attempting to command the heavens above them. Cyrildia lost her voice to the first twilight, Avarosa faced the twisted dark beneath the world, and was defeated by its emptiness, waiting to consume all creation. It was then Lissandra who stood against the wild magic of the mortal world itself. For this defiance, the savage claws of a primal god racked across her eyes, blinding her. Though each sister had lost a part of themselves, it was on the frozen fields of Lissandra's many battles that they were able to unite and prevail. Together, they were unstoppable. But even a bond of blood could only weather so much. With her sight taken, Lissandra chose instead to walk in dreams, as she navigated the frightful visions of those around her. She realized only she could see the darkness below for what it was. The lingering abyss promised not only an ending, but infinity. It was death, both dangerous and full of potential. Unknown to her sisters, Lissandra struck a deal on their behalf with the godlike entities she had command with the Watchers, would grant them near immortality in exchange for preparing Runeterra for the coming void. The three sisters and their most powerful followers were named Iceborn, those with this ability to withstand the worst of the numbing frost would be spared until the very end. However, Lissandra's sisters grew displeased. Avarosa argued that the only thing worse than death was servitude. Even Cyrildia bristled against what would become of the world they had fought so hard for. Caught in the middle, Lissandra tried to soothe her sister's concerns while appealing to the Watchers for more time. But the unknowable nothingness cared not for such platitudes. The void erupted into the mortal world in the far north, and with it, Lissandra's hidden allegiance to the Watchers became undeniable. In that moment, her only choices were to let the world be consumed, or to give up what she cared for the most. Lissandra sacrificed her sisters and the allies they had gathered, entombing the Watchers beneath a glacial barrier of magical ice that would never be melted. Lissandra soon discovered that even this elemental power was not enough. The monstrous beings she had frozen were merely slumbering, slowly tainting the true ice around them into something even darker. Now, they wandered through Lissandra's dreams as easily as she had theirs. And always she would wake, terrified professing her loyalty to the chilling eternity they promised. Ever the survivor, she gathered her remaining followers to venerate her and her departed sisters. If true ice would delay the inevitable end of all things, then they had to gather as much of it as they could find, and scour the frozen lands for any of the iceborn descendants to join their cause. Lissandra, and the first among her Frost Guard, did everything in their power to rewrite history, seizing all records of what had truly happened. And yet, rumors and prophecies persisted in myth and song. It was whispered that Avarosa and Cerelia would one day return to unite the desperate tribes, and so Lissandra had any who were hailed as their reincarnations quickly killed. Even she retreated into the shadows, periodically renewing herself with the power she had been gifted. Like the threat that lies trapped beneath the ice, Lissandra has never been able to completely control her sisters' legends. Whatever from guilt or arrogance, her failure to eradicate their legacy has manifested once more in two powerful Iceborn, one an idealist and the other a conqueror. And now, between them, they led many tribes within the Freljord. Lissandra watches them carefully, seeking an opportunity to pit them against one another, all the while redoubling her own efforts to lock away the terrible secrets she had buried deep under her citadel. And she must hurry, for the ice is beginning to melt.